Ifetayo, a media analyst, a friend of the house, joins us virtually. Thank you so much for joining us this morning, Adeniyi Ifetayo. Are you there? All right, we cannot hear Adeniyi Ifetayo.
Yeah, good morning. It's
okay.
My pleasure to be here.
Good morning. Thank you so much for
joining us. Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
We can hear you now. Thank you so much for joining us.
Jesus.
We can hear you now. Yes, absolutely. We can hear you now.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us. Happy New Week. Are you there?
Happy New Week.
All right. I think we have some sort of
yes, I'm here.
Delay in the feedback. Right.
Oh my God.
Oh, we can hear you, but there's just some sort of delay in the feedback, we're getting. So let's delve straight into the business of the day. Let's talk about this story, airstrike. We got the update about this happened on Saturday, and there have been speculations or rumors that it was the communities that this airstrike was launched was a civilian community. However, the NAF has come out to say no civilian was killed, and this happened in Zamfara, saying that they only killed bandits. Talking about accidental bombing, accidental airstrikes, it seems to be becoming a natural thing now in our climate. Let's get your reaction to this. Adeniyi Ifetayo, are you there?
Yes, I think our military person.
I think we'd have to call Adeniyi Ifetayo back, because we can't have a smooth conversation with him this way. While our producer is working on that, the details of the story on the Vanguard says that the Nigerian Air Force has dismissed allegations that its airstrike on terrorist hideouts, including areas linked to the notorious bandit leader Bello Turji, resulted in civilian deaths in Zamfara State. Reports suggested 16 vigilantes were killed during the operation targeting bandits in Tunga Kara Maradun local government area. Now, Zagazola Makama, a counter-security expert, claimed in an early Sunday report that members of the Zamfara Community Protection Guard were also among those that were killed. However, the NAF spokesperson AVM Akimboyewa refuted the claim, stating, and I quote, "We take every precaution to prevent harm to civilians during operation. The reports may be propaganda from terrorists seeking to undermine the military's success."
The governor said they are vigilantes.
Yeah. But according to a counter-security expert, he also confirmed that Zamfara Community Protection Guard, which you can classify as vigilantes, were among those that were killed. Vigilantes, are they not civilians? Correct me if I'm wrong. So if they are civilians, how are we now saying civilians were not killed? They are not the bandits that were targeted.
Exactly.
In fact, we've not gotten a number of the bandits that were reportedly killed. What we're seeing here now is the vigilantes that were killed, about 16 of them, stating that about 30 have also been injured.
It's quite interesting how this back and forth keeps going on, and one would wonder what is really going on. I know President Tinubu also ordered a probe into the killings of the soldiers that were killed and all that, but a lot of scrutiny needs to be directed at the army at this point, because while we are trying to combat insecurity, we should also be careful we don't lose life, we reduce the casualties.
Now, there's something interesting in this read. The NAF issued a statement titled, "NAF conducts decisive airstrike in Zamfara, investigating vigilante casualty reports." And they also stated that the Zamfara State Governor, Dauda Lawal, commended NAF's renewed efforts against banditry, but extended condolences to families of civilian victims mistakenly affected by the airstrike. So I think we're talking about the vigilantes, but they're also civilians. But I'm aware we have Adeniyi Ifetayo back on the line. Thank you for joining once again, Adeniyi Ifetayo.
Thank you. It's my pleasure to be here.
Right. So I was asking earlier, this conversation about accidental strikes and what have you, we seem to have another case here over the weekend in Zamfara State where the military was said to have targeted a community for bandits, but according to report, about 16 civilians were killed in the attack and over 30 injured. But the military has refuted the claim, saying no civilian was attacked. But the governor of the state has sent condolences to civilians that were mistakenly affected in the strike. It's so much disparity here. Let's get your perspective on this.
Yes, it's just unfortunate. I commiserate with the people of Zamfara or those families that lost their loved one. There's always a casualty of war. And I want to take a clue from the war that is ongoing between Hamas and Israel. Israel, they will make announcements where they know the people they are targeting. You understand? They will say, if you are in this location, please vacate, because we know this is hideout of this Hamas. And people who love their life, will quickly vacate that place. I think our military, our Air Force personnel, they need to up their game, because it has becoming too much. That sometimes they will say it's a mistake, and today they say they are bombing it's only the terrorists and all of that. I think they can do better. They can have a grand team, and while the assaulted will be coming from airstrike, you understand? So there will be a kind of warning. The people that you want to target. If you don't know them, why do you just bomb a community or an area? So I think they can do that. And just like I said in this forum several times, that if they need help, they should do more when it comes to software, when it comes to information gathering, when it comes to, of course, those terrorists too, they use what they call human shield. You understand? They live within the community, and they should do more. There's a strategy they call whistleblower. Don't wait. It's not just only meant for financial misappropriation that you should blow whistle. Where some of these people, they are within the community, they live, among us. Let me put it that way. And you see something that is not strange. You see something that is strange rather, and you notice that the kind of movement in your community, there should be a dedicated number. Just call that number, and they can even say you'll be rewarded for that tip. So it will reduce the casualty or a civilian casualty when we are talking about war or a fight against the terrorists. I think they need to do better next time.
All right, thank you very much, Adeniyi. Let's shift your focus to Oyo State. Now, murder charges has been placed upon Prophetess Naomi, the proprietor, and Oriyomi Amzat. Do you think that, looking at what happened, yes, lives were lost. We agree on that one. But do you think murder charge is not an exaggerated charge against these people who some would argue have no hand in this unfortunate tragedy?
Yes, sometimes in Nigeria, we are emotional when it comes to dealing with an issue. Just like you said, an individual is presumed innocent until being convicted or found guilty. So if they are innocent, if they don't have anything in it, at least they will have their days in court. But once life were being lost during the process, the normal thing is, to go for murder trial. I don't think it's exaggerated. So let them have their days in court and prove their innocence. I know some of them, they are trying to ameliorate, they are trying to reduce hunger, they are trying to give back, and as a result of that, there's a Yoruba that say that but nevertheless God will deliver them all. So what I'm trying to say is that regardless of the charges, whether murder or not murder, since they have their days in court, they can prove their innocence, and if they are being found guilty, maybe it might stand as a lesson to others to involve all party when you are doing something of that magnitude.
Adeniyi, Ifetayo, let me interrupt you for a bit now. How else would they prove their innocence? I would like to know, because based on, I know that they stated the event was supposed to start at about 10 o'clock in the morning, and even way before then, we had a magnitude of crowd. We had reports about parents throwing in their children Fine, they have also said they should have put more security on standby way before them. But seeing that 18-count criminal charges, which includes conspiracy to commit murder, manslaughter, criminal negligence. We also have another one here where they stated that acceleration of debt, failure to provide adequate security. It's a lot to take in. So when you say that they would have their time, first off, let's note that they were not, the bail charge or the bail request was not assented to. So when you say that they would have their time in court to prove their innocence, how else do they want to prove this beyond the fact that, okay, this was supposed to start at this time, but it started at this time. This was our targeted number. But this is, we got reports that people even came from outside Ibadan, outside of your state, to benefit from this. So, and we've seen cases where people have done these things before without putting some of these precautionary measures, but somehow things did not escalate like this, and that's why we could not get to talk about it that much. So we're saying God will vindicate them. Okay, but this is now a case of the law and these people. How else do they prove their innocence?
I believe this that time was not the first time they are doing such palliative, giving back
absolutely
to the community, whatever it is. So those that I'm sure they have the record. These are the things we've been doing in the past. They have never been a casualty, because there are moderate number that we expected they came. But this time around, things escalated, maybe as a result of the hunger in the land, as a result of cash crunch and whatever it is that is going on in the land. And we felt that is something that we can do. I've had a case, I had an event, and the kind of money the police were giving me, that we need to pay this amount of money before we can come around. And they'll be, sometimes those are the things you just need to put before the judges or the jury, as it were, that we didn't meant any evil. And I'm sure they might even want to tamper justice with mercy. All those counts you read out earlier on, conspiracy to kill, to do all this, some of them will be dropped. Yes, attempt murder or whatever it is. Some of those things will be dropped when trial commence. So I'm sure they are not there to cause chaos or make sure somebody lost their life. So, but I believe that one of those are the things that they will table before the court. Their past records and all of that. And I'm sure the judges, being who they are, they will look at it and drop some. If they found negligence in some other area, they might ask them to pay for that. So. All
right, Adeniyi, if I may comment,
that's what I believe.
Looking at all this now, what negative or positive, or let me just say, what effect would it have on those who genuinely want to help, who want to do philanthropy? What effect would it have? Seeing what happened to their predecessors, if I might say.
Yes. In fact, let me put this. Yesterday, during Sunday school, we look at empathy. That why is it that people are not empathized with other people? And somebody said, because of maybe what has happened to someone when you are trying to help. In fact, my daughter has a question. She said, can you, on the line of doing empathy, go to jail? I was surprised. I said, well, sometimes it happens. So some will be discouraged, of course, no doubt about that. Me, I'm of opinion, as long as you are doing good, regardless of what might happen to Mr. A or B, just be discretionary about it and continue to do it. Don't let it stop you at all. I won't subscribe that, because this one has happened, let me stop about it. So it's just for all. Most of us, we don't study the lessons. It's only outcome that we study. So what has happened? What lesson can be learned? If I'm doing this thing or this kind of giving back that is so huge and much, what are the measures that needed to be put in place? What are the loopholes? What are the things that were not foreseen? In case we are expecting 500 and 1,005 showed up, what are we going to do? So how can we make sure people file in an orderly manner and they go out through other exits? So those are the things. I think we should review the whole thing and put so many measures in place so that it will not, because if you they say if you fail to plan, you've already planned to fail, so that this kind of thing will not happen again. I think for every problem there's always a solution.
Right. Okay, just before we go this morning, on the Vanguard newspaper, there's this headline that says SERAP, which is Socioeconomic Rights Accountability Group, drags the federal government as well as governors to ECOWAS court over misuse of Cyber Crimes Act. We've seen this come to play so many times, and SERAP seems to be taking the bull by the horn, dragging the federal government, not just the federal government, several other governors to court, saying they are misusing and abusing the Cyber Crime Act. Let's get your reaction to this headline. What should we expect from this?
Let me commend SERAP. They've been there for a long time, making sure that the whole government accountable, whether state, local, or federal government. It's just our challenge is still the justice, will I say the judiciary, but thank God they took them to ECOWAS. But come to think of it, what can ECOWAS do? Because Nigeria is one of the heavy funding of ECOWAS, and like we normally say that he will pay the piper, dictate the tune. You understand what I'm saying? But it's a good thing. But what I will advise them that they can one at a time, so that it will have a meaningful effect. If you want to take this state governor and see this is what you are doing, the way you are applying it is not good, and you are going against humanity, and so when justice is being dispensed on that, and you can, that one can serve as a clue. But taking all of them to court, well, there's nothing that is not possible. I don't see that it might be there in the next 10-20 years.
All right, thank you very much, Adeniyi, Ifetayo. You have been very brilliant. We always do enjoy this brainstorming that we do regularly. Of course, thank you very much for it.
Thank you. It's my pleasure to be here once again.
Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.